Ever wondered how real-life investigators manage to catch killers who are supposedly untraceable? The truth is, the myth of the perfect hitman exists only in movies. Real cases almost always unravel because of human error, technology, or simple persistence. From financial trails to digital footprints, modern law enforcement has turned the art of finding killers into a precise science that exposes even the most careful criminals. Number 5. A hired killer never leaves a trace. Reality. Every move leaves evidence, sometimes more than they realize. In the cinematic world, assassins slip in and out undetected, leaving behind only mystery. But in the real world, investigators know that every act leaves a physical or digital imprint. A single hair on a jacket, a footprint in soft soil, or even a smudge on a doorknob can connect a suspect to a scene. Ballistic analysis can match bullets to specific weapons, while DNA recovered from cigarette butts, gloves, or fibers provides near-foolproof identification. Surveillance footage from street cameras, doorbell systems, and even passing vehicles gives investigators eyes everywhere. Forensic mapping can pinpoint where a killer stood, how shots were fired, and the direction of their escape. When combined with phone location data, car GPS logs, and eyewitness accounts, the result is an evidence web that no professional can fully erase. In reality, the more they plan, the more traces they leave behind. The forensic sciences have evolved to the point that investigators can reconstruct entire timelines from microscopic evidence. Digital forensics in particular plays a major role. Call records, deleted messages, and GPS history can expose a suspect's location down to a few feet. Police also cross-reference data from multiple sources, such as cell towers, rideshare logs, and credit card swipes, to trace movements. These details are then woven together with witness statements and video evidence to form an airtight case. Even if the suspect never steps into the crime scene, modern forensic algorithms can identify accomplices or planners based on communication patterns and spending behavior. The myth of the invisible assassin collapses in the face of a world blanketed by cameras, sensors, and digital records. Number 4. Cash-only transactions make a crime invisible. Reality. Every dollar leaves a shadow. Criminals often believe that paying in cash erases their trail, but investigators are trained to follow the money in more ways than one. Financial crime units specialize in identifying patterns, suspicious withdrawals, frequent small payments, or cash deposits structured to avoid reporting thresholds. These patterns are red flags that lead investigators to individuals trying to hide something. Bank surveillance footage captures faces, timestamps, and transaction details that can later be matched with criminal timelines. Even when deals are made off the books, the sudden possession of large amounts of money, new vehicles, or travel expenses raises suspicion. Forensic accountants and analysts dig into phone payments, prepaid cards, and digital transfers that may have been used to funnel funds. No matter how well criminals think they've concealed their financial footprints, the numbers eventually tell the truth. In several solved murder-for-hire cases, detectives discovered payment trails buried beneath layers of deception, cash stuffed into envelopes, wire transfers disguised as loans, or luxury goods purchased immediately after a killing. Tax filings, gambling records, and financial inconsistencies often expose accomplices who can then turn state's evidence. Investigators also cross-match purchase histories and timestamps to reconstruct meetings or payments. Even the smallest inconsistency, a missing receipt or sudden spike in ATM activity, can open a path to the truth. The deeper investigators dig, the clearer it becomes that cash doesn't buy invisibility. It buys evidence waiting to be found. Number 3. Hitmen are lone professionals with military precision. Reality. Most are amateurs driven by greed or desperation. The stoic, tuxedo-clad assassin from Hollywood is a far cry from the reality of contract killers. In most real-world cases, these so-called professionals are not ex-special forces operatives, but ordinary people enticed by quick money or pressured by personal circumstances. Their lack of discipline leads to sloppy errors, using traceable vehicles, leaving cell phones active, or discussing plans with others who later turn witnesses. Law enforcement analysts study these mistakes to form a modus operandi, identifying behavioral patterns across multiple crimes. Forensic psychologists add another layer by examining motivations and personality types to predict future moves. Investigators frequently find that hired killers are overconfident in their abilities but underestimate the reach of digital surveillance. Their supposed professionalism often crumbles under even mild police scrutiny. A true professional hitman, trained, silent, and perfectly detached, is an extremely rare anomaly. Most murder-for-hire operations unravel because of reckless communication, visible preparation, or betrayal by a middleman. Investigators compare ammunition calibers, travel records, and cell tower data to connect individuals who claim to be strangers. Behavioral analysis and crime scene reconstruction often expose recurring habits, like method of entry, weapon type, or the time of day. These consistencies form a behavioral signature that detectives can use to tie multiple crimes together. Ultimately, while movies glorify the myth of the lone wolf, reality shows a much more chaotic picture, a web of amateurs undone by their own human flaws. Number 2. Encrypted apps and burner phones always stop cops. Reality. Digital anonymity is a temporary illusion. It's true that encryption and disposable phones make investigations harder, but they don't make them impossible. Every digital device, even a prepaid one, connects to cell towers, networks, and servers that log metadata, information about when and where communications occur. Investigators use this metadata to map movement, determine contact frequency, and link suspects across operations. Burner phones often betray their owners when they connect near home or work, creating patterns investigators can easily trace. Law enforcement agencies also partner with telecom providers to gather records through subpoenas or warrants, allowing them to identify linked numbers. Even deleted messages and deactivated accounts can sometimes be recovered through forensic software. The technology criminals depend on for secrecy often becomes the very thing that exposes them. Digital evidence doesn't exist in isolation. It's paired with physical and human intelligence. Investigators compare phone data with surveillance footage, vehicle tracking, and witness reports to build a complete picture. A single slip-up, such as calling a known contact or connecting to public Wi-Fi, can unravel an entire network. Specialized cyber units use algorithms to detect repeating identifiers like SIM swaps or device fingerprints that connect multiple phones to one person. Even when criminals use apps promising privacy, communication patterns still leave clues. Timing, location, and message volume all tell stories. In the end, the untraceable phone is rarely as invisible as its user believes. Number 1. The perfect crime is unprovable. No witnesses, no motive, no arrest. Reality. The perfect crime only exists in arrogance and fiction. Every killer believes their plan is flawless until investigators begin connecting the dots. The foundation of a successful prosecution isn't one single clue, but a network of consistent, corroborating evidence. Detectives gather fragments from crime scenes, digital sources, financial records, and interviews, layering them into a timeline that exposes contradictions. Motive is rarely absent. It can be financial stress, betrayal, or revenge, and each leaves an emotional residue that experienced investigators recognize. The absence of witnesses doesn't equal the absence of evidence. Modern tools like facial recognition, cell tower triangulation, and even data from smart devices can place suspects at the scene. It's not always the big mistake that brings a killer down. It's the small ones they didn't think mattered. Behind every unsolved case lies an army of forensic experts, data analysts, and detectives who refuse to quit. Cold case units revisit old evidence with new technology, touch DNA, digital enhancement, and advanced ballistics, to expose killers who once seemed untouchable. Prosecutors then build their cases methodically, ensuring every link in the evidentiary chain holds up under scrutiny. Overconfidence is often a criminal's greatest weakness, blinding them to the persistence of law enforcement. As time passes, technology sharpens, and the myth of the perfect crime fades further into fantasy. In the end, it's not stealth or cunning that wins. It's the relentless patience of investigators who know that truth, like evidence, always surfaces. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Until next time.